Welcome in, guys. Sorry, I don't know what happened to the porch video. Give me a second. It shouldn't be black. Give me 1 second. Give me a second, guys. Sorry, it's black. I have no idea why it's like this. Give me 1 second. I might have to restart the live really quick. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to check first, though. Okay, I fixed it. Sorry about that, you guys. Thank you for your heart meets, guys. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Thank you, Robin. That's so pretty. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Brandy. Hi, Deborah. Thank you, guys. Welcome in. Happy Monday. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. It's New Story Monday. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Monday. It's New Story Day. You guys can, I'm just getting my notebook out with the clicky pen. You guys can start writing your story requests in all capital letters in the chat, and I'll write them down, and then we can vote on the first story. Welcome to the porch. Hi, Heather. Hi, Weezer. Hello, Weezer. Welcome in. Welcome to the porch. We start at about 10:30 once we vote for the first story. Thank you for the follow, Cicely. Lucifer, thank you for the galaxy. B, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Kimmy. And thank you, Allison. It's been weird all night. Oh, thank you, Robin. That's so sweet of you. That really helps. Support. Thank you. Hi, Cassie. And thank you, Lucifer. Welcome back. Hi, Igo. Sorry, guys, I was having some porch difficulties, but you will figure out why in a little while. Because I have a surprise for you guys. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore, and I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I'm here every single night from 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. Except starting Wednesday, I will be going live most likely an hour or 2 or possibly 3 later than usual, but I will be still on, and I'll probably be on during the day. I'm taking a vacation to Lake Tahoe, and so it just depends on like when we're done with dinner and stuff. My best friend planned a bunch of stuff, so I don't really know what we're doing. It's kind of a surprise. So it'll kind of be like when I went to WitchCon. If you guys followed me then, I would just post on my stories and let you guys keep in on the Discord and let you guys know when I was wrapping up and be like, hey, I'm probably going to be live in an hour, guys. Love ya. So I will still be going live. It will just be a flexible schedule for a few days. But first, I'm going to set up the poll for us to vote, and then I'll be right back so we can vote on the first story. Welcome to the porch. And while I'm setting up that first poll, if you guys could do me a big favor, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner? There's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. And it helps us grow this beautiful porch. Hi, Skrilla. Also, no, I'm a Sagittarius. Also, I will be reading the new story of the week for the first time tonight at around midnight. And I have a surprise for you guys. First time I've ever doing it. A surprise for this story at midnight. So it's in your best interest to stay awake or to be here still at midnight. So if you're a person that naps by chance, you might want to take your nap now so that you're back by midnight. Just saying. I like all signs. Yes, girl, I'm talking to you. Yes, I'm talking to you, Skrilla. Justin said I know exactly what I was trying to do. Robin. And thank you to those of you who joined the live premiere tonight at 7 on YT. I appreciate it, and you guys are the best. I'll be right back with the poll. Skrilla, yes, you were. You just weren't going to today. Yeah, right. Don't blame it on me. Shadow, everybody's already seen the premiere. It's not, why would it be about you? Hi, Celia. Has it, Skrilla? What do you mean? Hope it was good. Rich said, if the universe wants we awake, then it'll be. Oh, it's Little Wayne Skrill. I thought you were, because you said it's been an eventful day. And I was like, why? I feel like I missed some people's requests because there aren't very many requests tonight. So feel free to write your requests again, just in case I missed it, because the chat goes fast and I feel like there's about half the normal number of requests. So I think I missed a batch. Thank you guys. I definitely missed some. Yeah, I got yours. What will be? Hi, Jesse. Welcome in. Welcome to the porch. Astro, son, if it's your first time here, don't worry. You don't have to request anything. Just sit back and relax. Welcome to the porch. All right, guys, thank you so much for repeating your request. I think that's the first time I've ever had to ask you guys to do that. But I've had some technical things going on here tonight because of the thing I'm trying to surprise you guys with. I'm not that familiar with how to do this, so it's like fucking up everything back here. So, yes, Skrilla makes me giggle all the time. He sure does. He sure does. Okay, you guys. The poll is right up there. You can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. We have the water babies. You're cleaning up a crime scene, Natalie? Oh my God, is that your job? How cool. Whoa. Water babies, the Devil's Tramping Ground, the Dead Children's Playground, the Phantom Ride, and the Fairy Trees. I know, right, Harper? I'm like, what? Yeah, that's understandable that you might be in and out of the live if you're cleaning up a crime scene, Nat. Thanks for letting us know. That's crazy. Who's it gonna be, guys? The Water Babies, the Devil's Tramping Ground, the Dead Children's Playground, the Phantom Ride, or the Fairy Trees? Lucifer, it's your tramping ground. That's a good one, Florida Trucker. Yay, Kim, I'm so glad you get to relax. And the winner is the fairy trees. And y'all are great for voting for my favorite story. Thank you. You guys are cute. Oh, Cassie. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, Cassie, don't worry because you came to the premiere, right? So you don't even need to worry about the surprise. You've already seen it. I'll text you about it. Oh, Shadow, you don't want to do that. There is a delay on TikTok and it's really annoying if you're listening to both. Thank you, Kimmy. I'm glad you like the shooting stars. I appreciate it. I really am a big outer space fan and I love astronomy in general. So, and I'm a huge fan of meteor showers. My favorite one just happened last week, actually. But it was raining here. Anyway, the winner is the fairy trees. I'll be right back. Happy Monday. And if you're new here, hi, Far Above Life. Welcome in. And it's spooky season all the time for us. Doesn't matter what time of year it is. Did you answer, are you afraid of the dark just in the fall? Nope, you sure didn't. It was all year, baby. And if you are new here, welcome in. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. And Cassie, I don't know if you can tell what I mean by that, but did you see in the chat how Lovely kept saying, oh my God, I wish the people on TT knew this. I wish the people on TT, do you get what I'm saying? So you've already seen it. Hi, Carrie. Yeah, I'm here every night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time till about 1 in the morning. Yes, I loved The Outer Limits. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them anytime you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Just look for Porch Lore and you'll find me. I also have all the links in my bio. Oh, are you talking about, wait, there's a few like that. Are you talking about Librarians, Warehouse 13, and then there was like Timeless, and then there was also like one on Netflix that was like a little boy who was a ghost. And that one was cute too. Mr. Authority, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Hi, Archangel Michael. How are you? Oh my God, yeah. You know, Audrey Hepburn's my favorite actress of all time. And she actually played a blind woman in a horror movie too. And that's what you're talking about, correct? The girl is Audrey Hepburn. She's my favorite actress. And I love how you knew that. Yeah, I love how you've seen that movie. That is one of the lesser known Audrey Hepburn movies. Most people haven't seen that one, and it's phenomenal acting. Yeah, she is, like I told you guys, I have connections to past life stuff, and I can't explain it, but since I was about able to speak words, I was obsessed with her. Everything about her. I used to like hug pictures of her and want to fall asleep with them, and I wanted all her movies. I wanted to see all her movies, and no one in my family was like a fan or like watched her. You know what I mean? Like my mom had never introduced me. It wasn't something my grandma watched with me or anything like that. And I've always just loved her. I'm not sure, Rich. I don't know which one that is. All right, I'll be right back with fairy trees. Yes, I liked Haven too. Logo. Haven's phenomenal. Plus, it has my childhood crush in it, and he's still hot. He's still fine. He was actually in an episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark? And you know what's so funny is we get so few shows for those of us who like this weird shit that we all have watched the same ones. All the people on YT are like, I have the Warehouse 13 box set. I love Haven. Because we literally get like 12 shows our whole life that are like about that specific, you know what I'm saying? About like the stuff that we, like that specific, I don't even know what that genre would be called, but I'm obsessed with like the mixture of, right? It's true, Far Above. It's true. We all know those shows. We all know Timeless. We all know Warehouse 13. We all know Haven. We all, you know, there's like a handful, maybe 12. We all know Winona Earp. We all, you know what I mean? There's literally like a handful of them. And it's because they're not mass appeal. So studios nowadays don't even make them. So we're all referring to shows that were made in like 2009 because that's all we've got. And we're all like watching it over because they're good. And like, I'm like, dear God, I hate late stage capitalism because back when they used to just like make art for like the art of it, now it's like cranking out formula ass shit. But yeah, right, Boone. Winona Earp was iconic. Yep, it's all for profit. Yep, not the love of the exactly. And it's crazy. That's why we're getting, I've already ranted about this a million times, but that's why we're getting remakes all the time. Because it's already used IP. They don't have to pay for it. And they are the best shows. They really are. It's like almost, you know who bet on them? Almost all of them were bet on by Sci-Fi. I think a couple were maybe like, I don't even know, one of the networks maybe. But I think most of them were Sci-Fi. I know Winona Earp was. But did you guys see Surreal Estate? That one's cute. And they bring back, it's the main guy's Doc Holliday, and they bring back Winona for a cameo. It's good. It's good. Anyway, be right back. No, I haven't seen Mrs. Davis Supernatural. No, I haven't seen that. I'll have to look into it. Oh, that's a good question, Logo. You guys, Logo over here on YT said, would you rather have an artifact from Warehouse 13 or a trouble from Haven? Oh. I'd rather have a trouble from Haven because they're mostly elements, and I already kind of have those. They're mostly elemental powers, and I already deal with that. So I would say A Trouble from Haven. Or I want Mary Queen of Scots, Norwal Croquet Mallet. I know that's very specific, but she's my ancestor. And I feel like I want it. Because she made it out of a Norwal tusk so she could have a magical croquet mallet so she never lost. But the reason she actually never, and she claimed it was her mallet that made her win. But the reason she never lost is because she beheaded people that she lost to. So there's that. Yes, Jesse, I love the Scream franchise too. I'll probably never be able to watch it past movie 2 ever again, but I do love that franchise as well. Thank you, Darren. What's insurance, Kim? I don't know, Logo, is it? I just remember it from the episode. But I just remember the mallet from an episode. I've never been on the Artifact Wiki, but I'm sure it is because it was in an episode. Oh, I get it, Kim. Now I get it. By the way, guys, this picture is available now for framed print on the merch site, as well as the bottle trees, and I didn't put the Snallycaster up. So the fairy trees and bottle trees are both up now. Because I know a few of you requested them. And yes, Widow's Bay is so good. We were talking about that the other night. It's so good. Oh, wait, Weezer, I have seen that. I love her. I love that actress. She was also in Glow. I have seen that. Thank you, Mackenzie. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the fairy trees. There are some places in the world where people will move mountains to build a road. And then there are places where people will move the road to avoid a single tree. Not because of engineering, and not because of convenience, but because of something older. Something whispered about for centuries. Something living between folklore and fear. The belief that some trees are not just trees. They are homes, doorways, places where the unseen world touches our own. For centuries across the forests and fields of Ireland, Scotland, England, and even parts of Appalachia, people have believed that some trees are not simply trees. They are something more. They are places where the human world touches something unseen, and they are known as fairy trees. And some of these trees are believed to be even more mysterious. Thank you, Tania. Thank you. And these are referred to as portal trees. Living doorways that connect our world to hidden realms beyond our own. Today, many people pass these trees without a second thought. Thank you, Iacona. They see twisted branches, ancient trunks, and strange shapes created by centuries of wind and weather. But for generations before us, those same trees were treated with reverence, respect, and sometimes even fear. Because according to the old folklore, these trees belonged to beings that lived just beyond human sight. The stories of the fairy trees began centuries ago at a time when people lived much closer to the natural world than we do now. They believed that the world was filled with unseen forces. Rivers had spirits, mountains had personalities. Certain places were sacred. And forests were not simply collections of trees. They were places where the boundary between the known and the unknown became thin. Across Ireland and Scotland, people spoke of a hidden realm that existed alongside our own. A mysterious world inhabited by beings often called the fair folk, or the fae. But these were not the tiny cheerful fairies of modern children's stories, no. The fae of ancient tradition were powerful elemental entities. The fair folk were called fair for a reason. They were viewed as the keepers of the natural balance, the primordial form of justice. And they became angered when humans disrespected the natural world. And among the places where these beings were believed to gather were certain unusual trees. Sometimes it would be hundreds of years old with branches twisted into strange shapes. And people would wonder why. Why had this one tree survived when everything around it had changed? Why did storms not destroy it? Why did generations of people continue to leave it standing? The answer, according to folklore, was that the tree was protected. It was a home, a meeting place, a doorway. It belonged to the fairies. Farmers would carefully plow around these trees rather than cut them down. Roads were sometimes redirected to avoid them. And some of these special trees developed an even stranger reputation. They became known as portal trees. And according to folklore, certain trees could act as doorways between the worlds. Hollow trees, twisted trees, trees with what appeared to be a doorway. Stories developed about people who entered these strange openings and experienced impossible things. Stories of people who disappeared for what seemed like only minutes, only to discover that hours, days, or even years had passed. The idea of lost time is one of the most common themes in fairy folklore. The belief that the fairy realm did not follow the same rules as our world and that time just behaved differently there. But perhaps one of the most fascinating traditions surrounding portal trees was their connection to healing. For centuries, people across parts of Britain, Europe, and Appalachia believed that certain trees had the power to remove illness. One old practice involved passing a sick child through an opening or a split in a tree. The belief was that the sickness would be left behind inside the tree, while the child would emerge healed. The tree became a bridge between sickness and health, between the old ways and the new. Of all the warnings surrounding fairy trees, one became the most well-known. Never cut one down. Respect the trees. Respect the land. Respect the mysteries you do not understand. But fairy trees are not just a tradition from the distant past. They still exist today. Hi, country kid. Travel through parts of Ireland, Scotland, and Appalachia, and you will find trees decorated with ribbons, coins, flowers, and small offerings. Hi, E-Online. Hi, Luigi. Thanks, Jennifer. People still visit them. Some leave wishes, some leave gifts. Some simply stand beneath their branches and appreciate the history vibrating around them. Welcome in, Brandy. A reminder that the world is older and stranger than we often remember. When you first hear about fairy trees, it's easy to assume they are just stories people tell children. Tiny creatures hiding beneath roots in magical forests. Old legends from a world that no longer exists. But the more I researched them, the more I realized people didn't just tell stories about these trees, they changed their lives because of them. Across Ireland and parts of Scotland, certain lone hawthorn trees became surrounded by stories of the fair folk. And not the cute, harmless creatures from children's fairy tales. The older legends described something much more complicated. The fairies were powerful, capable of blessing a person or ruining their life. They were not creatures you invited in. They were beings you respected. And above all else, you did not disturb their homes. That belief became so deeply rooted that farmers avoided cutting certain trees, even when the tree stood alone in the middle of valuable farmland. People would just plow around them. They would just leave them untouched for generations, because removing one was believed to invite disaster. Thank you, Jerry. A sick child, a failed harvest, a streak of terrible luck. But what fascinated me was what happened when our modern world collided with these stories. Because even today, there are roads built around these special trees. Construction projects are rerouted. Machines are stopped and plans are redesigned. All because someone looked at a single tree and decided, nah, we're not cutting that one down. Oh, thanks, Rich. That's sweet. Perhaps the mystery of fairy trees was never about whether supernatural beings truly lived among the branches. Perhaps the deeper mystery is why humans across many cultures have always looked at certain trees and felt that they were special. Maybe it's because an ancient tree is already something magical. It can stand for hundreds of years. It can survive storms that destroy everything around it. It can grow from a tiny seed into something that outlives countless generations. It witnesses births, deaths, war, celebrations, and forgotten moments in history. A tree can remember a world that no human alive today has ever seen. And trees are, in fact, vital to the survival of the human race. Maybe that's why in ancient times, they were revered. And maybe that's why some people still believe that trees are doorways. Because standing beneath the branches of an ancient tree, feeling the vibration of the earth and the breeze on your skin, it's easy to imagine that there is more to this world than we can see with our eyes. That somewhere beyond the roots and the leaves, hidden just beyond the edge of human understanding, there may still be places where the old stories are waiting. Places where the boundary between the worlds grows thin. And perhaps somewhere deep in the woods near you, there are still trees that are not just trees. They're reminders that the world still holds mysteries that we have yet to uncover. And that's the tale of the fairy trees. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. Thank you, Pittsburgh Penny. I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time until about 1 in the morning. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. I do write and record all of these stories myself, and you can listen to them whenever you would like on my YT channel, as well as all of the podcast streaming sites. Thank you, Jennifer. It's my new favorite. Really? You do, Country Kid? That's cool. I'm going to set up the next poll, and if you guys could do me a big favor and hit that share arrow in the bottom right-hand corner, there's a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs, and it helps us grow our beautiful porch. Also, sharing to your stories and sharing to your friends helps too. Oh my God, you're so cute. Thank you, Escape Room. I appreciate it. And guess what? You don't have to worry. It's not scary. It's like, are you afraid of the dark? Or like Twilight Zone. A lot of my topics are just unexplained. Like the one I just read was about fairy trees. So don't worry, it's not just, I don't do like scary. So you can be a chicken and still hang out. You can hang out with the beautiful, enchanting people on the porch. We have trust issues. Guys, Mr. E's escape room, Fort Walton, reassure them that they're not scary. And I do announce, there's a couple of scary ones, but I announce it first. I'm always like, guys, this is my scary one. Because those are the ones that have humans in them. The rest of them are like cool cryptids. Like my chupacabra has a baby in the story. I'm not kidding. There's a baby Chupi. And Goat Man is like sad and lonely. And then Mothman's a hunk. Trust me, they're not your normal stories. Thank you, Sam. Yeah, Mothman's thick. Thick. Kimmy, thank you so much. See, Jessica says, I am also a chicken, but I am safe here. See, Jessica says it too. Thank you, Mr. E's escape room. I appreciate it. Welcome to the porch. My name's Devin. Yeah, the chat is also, the people in the live are amazing too. We're like a little family, a little community. Thanks for the otter. It's so cute. Thanks, Chels. And Candace, thanks for the roses. All right, you guys, I'm setting up the next poll for us to vote. I'll be right back. Happy Monday. Kimmy says you can sit by her. She has hot chocolate. Okay, guys, the next poll is ready. And we have the Chupacabra, the Devil's Tramping Ground, the Phantom Ride, which is an Are You Afraid of the Dark reworking, the Versailles Time Slip, and the Last American Vampire. You can vote in the top left-hand corner. And you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. Kimmy, I drop mine all the time too. Who's it gonna be, guys? We've got the Chupacabra, Devil's Tramping Ground, the Phantom Ride, the Versailles Time Slip, and Last American Vampire. And you know what, Leslie? It's so funny because I just saw you were voting, and I was like, oh, Leslie's voting. And I was like, I bet you $1 million she's voting for the Versailles Time Slip. Yeah, you're the only one. I knew it. I love you, Leslie. We are so soul sisters, dude. Hi, Kim. Yes, poodles. My videos are all available on YT and like all the podcast streaming sites. And I promise they're so relaxing and there's such a variety of them now. I have so many now. I'm very proud of like the collection of them. I would love for you to check them out. Thank you, poodles. All right, you guys, the winner is The Devil's Tramping Ground. Oh no, Nate, what happened? I'm so sorry you're grieving. We love you. Aesthetic Daily, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. I get it, Nate. I get it. Totally get it. I wish I didn't get it, but I do. Deborah, you're so cute. Oh my God, Robin. Oh my God. Y'all. And look at the potato. Robin. God, I can't explain to you. None of the gifts make me feel like that one does. Like, I love all of them, but that one, I feel like I'm there holding paws with her. And she goes, like, looking at me. She's, meow. And, like, I can't handle how. No, Natalie, that was the gift. It was the cutest damn thing. And it's my favorite gift. She's called Lily the Leopard, and she's holding paws with you while spinning in a field of flowers with bubbles. And she meows. It's my favorite, Robin. Yeah, thanks. She's so cute. I know. I love how she's looking right in your eyes while you're holding paws with her. Thank you, Terry. This picture is of the Devil's Tramping Ground, Kayla. It's the story that just won, and I'm about to tell you. Here, guys, watch. Robin, thanks. Did you guys see her face? It's like, I need to clip her and post it so I can watch it a million times. It's just the cutest damn thing. I can't even handle it. Oh, don't worry. No, that's totally fine. You're fine, Jessie. I know. It's beyond adorable. I'm like, whoever invented that gift is like a genius. Like, they've had that dream too. Because literally, that's the closest I'm ever going to get to holding paws with a baby snow leopard while spinning through a field of flowers with bubbles floating around. It's like a dream. And they make it so like it looks like she's holding my paws. I'm holding her paws. I don't have paws, but she's so cute. Thanks, Robin. Thank you. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're so cute. Hi, Jade. Quick swig, be right back. That's right, Jade. The gift inventor knew what I needed. Lady Rose, I'm going to need you to share that with me. Lady Rose is so cute. She says, I have a picture of a tiger sleeping on its back with its paws up. I'm going to need to see that. For scientific reasons. Research. I know, Deborah. I think about it all the time. I think about who makes the gifts, and I'm like, that job's awesome. Because somebody's got to be making these are some of them are so random and specific that like somebody's making these up. Can you imagine where they're like, all right, so hear me out. Her name's Lily. She's a baby snow leopard, and she holds your hands and spins it. And they're like, yup, nailed it. Make it right away. That's it. That's the one. And then the guy who was like, all right, they blast stupid, inappropriate songs. That guy, I hope he got fired. I hope the FIFA gift guy got fired. Kim, that's a beautiful way to put it. And that's exactly how I feel about the Lily gift. I feel like that's literally like a dream I've had. Like spinning in a field with a baby animal and like, you know what I mean? Like it's a perfection. Lacey, oh girl, if you even knew the way that this app just has the most inconsistent shit ever, there is no consistent enforcement of anything. It is literally just fucking random. And that's what makes it so, but it's a social logical experiment, and they're trying to run the app into the ground, and they're also trying to see how much people will take. They're trying to make us crazy by the inconsistency and never really knowing. So we live in constant fear. That's actually a psychological tactic that I learned about in group communication, in mass communication. When you keep changing the rules and people constantly live in fear because they don't know the rules anymore. Anyway, that's why he hates news reporters, because we all took classes on the shit he's doing. Anyway, there's a treasure box. Oh my goodness. Why does it not show me treasure boxes? It's pretty annoying. It doesn't show me who gives them anymore. It did before, but not anymore. So whoever sent it, thank you so much. I'm sorry that I can't even say thank you. It's not telling me, it's not even showing it anymore. I need to check my settings. Zootsuit, it was you. Thank you so much. If you do send a box, please let me know, because the app's not telling me like it used to. That's weird, Kim. You can't see it? Uh-oh. I can see it. Yeah, that's Zootsuit Rich. Thank you so much for checking. I got TikTok Shop and it wants me to sell honey packs. What? Kim, that's weird. Did you do an update? You can see this one, Justin? And Kim can't? The hell is going... See what I mean? What's going on? What? I don't get it. You can see it, but you don't have it? I don't understand. Yeah, if you just swipe out Kim and come back, it'll go away. It's so dumb. Okay, well, a lot of people aren't seeing the box and other people are. Yeah, I didn't get the joke, Justin. I didn't get it. I also don't. You do have a box or you don't have a box up in the corner? You do. Okay. So half of you guys are not seeing it and half of you guys are seeing it, and it keeps disappearing when you tap on it. Jesus, this app is insane. Well, I guess if you see it, then it's meant for you. I don't know. Yeah, it says 14 seconds for me. You guys got 14 seconds to open that. Tappy, tappy, tappy. I've never gotten one open in my life, so good luck. Thank you guys for the clovers. Cool. Everybody got a clover. That's so fun. I have no idea, Justin. No clue. I'm not even going to try to solve it. I have too much on my mind to worry about TikTok shenanigans right now. Hi, Ange. Corinna, thank you for your first gift ever. That's so cool, Zoot Suit. That's so cool that it's a clover one. That's so neat. You're so sweet. Thank you. Who got it? Aesthetic got it? It's not telling me who got it either. God, this is annoying. Thank you, Jess. Thank you guys for all the clovers. That's so cute. Oh, Deborah, you got it? Wait, I'm so confused. I don't understand. So everybody got it. Oh, that's weird, Aesthetic. How weird. Gabriel said, want to buy a honey packet. All right, be right back. Oh, I see. Lucifer gave people clovers. Cool. That's cool. Oh, there's another one. There's another one. I'm going to start the story and you guys can vie for it. This box is from Denal. Thank you. It doesn't, I hate how it doesn't tell their actual screen names. It tells like the other name. But thank you. You got a win sandwich, Grim. Perfect. I think everybody got one clover, Natalie, but I'm not sure. Oh, really? You can get up to 100? Whoa. That's so cool, Nate. Nate, you sent that one? Hi, Santahua. Melissa, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. Yeah, Tanya, I think the clover thing's a new thing. Oh shit, there's 2 boxes. Okay, guys, there's 2 super fan boxes. Let's see what they have in them. I'll be right back with the story. Sorry, Aubrey Delgado. I'm talking to the people over on TikTok. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was a clover box, Kimmy. Hi, Puma. Chelsea, I think it's tonight. I think it's tonight. Oh, Jade, I'm about to start right now. You're perfect timing. Hi, Melinda. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the Devil's Tramping Ground. Country Kid, thanks for your first gift ever with the clovers. Thanks. Lee, thanks for your first gift ever. Thank you for all the clovers, guys. Some places whisper their strangeness. Others wear it openly, daring you to come closer to test the truth out for yourself. I had heard of one such place my entire life, tucked away in the woods of North Carolina, a barren circle called the Devil's Tramping Ground. It's not much to look at in photographs, just a patch of earth about 40 feet across, where no grass grows and no flowers bloom, and no tree dares to take root. But the stories woven around it go back centuries. They say the devil himself, thank you, Mbasa. They say the devil himself walks the circle at night, wearing down the soil with his restless pacing as he plots the world's miseries. Thank you, Karina. Others whisper it's a portal, a wound in the earth where something older seeps through. I had filed it away as one of those curious oddities that you tell at campfires. But as autumn deepened and my appetite for the strange stirred again, the place called to me. Unlike most legends, this one wasn't about a hidden ruin or hard-to-find cave. It was just a circle right there in the open, stubbornly bare in the middle of a living forest. There's another treasure box, guys. So I packed my gear, I drove south, and I set my course for the woods near Bear Creek, North Carolina. The locals said the circle still waited. The road wound narrower the closer I got. Asphalt giving way to gravel, then to dirt packed hard by decades of tires. Pines crowded thick on either side, their needles scattering across the hood of my car. A thin drizzle began to fall, streaking the windshield and making the world outside look hazy and softened. I parked at the edge of a clearing, killed the engine, and I listened. The forest was quiet in that heavy, watchful way. Thank you, Jessa. I shouldered my pack and I followed the faint path that led deeper into the trees. The air smelled sharp with pine and damp earth. That's amazing aesthetic. Every step carried me further into silence, as though the woods themselves were holding their breath. And then suddenly, there it was. The circle. It stopped me in my tracks. The photographs had never done it justice. The patch of earth lay before me like a wound, raw and bare, perfectly round. The soil was sandy and reddish, stripped of life. Around its edge, the forest pressed thick, trees growing right up to the boundary, but not one root daring to trespass. I know, Zoot Suit, you really did. And the strangest part, it wasn't just that nothing grew there. It was that the circle seemed to resist everything that belonged to the world around it. No birds flew overhead. No insects buzzed around it. I dropped my pack at the edge and I crouched and I ran my fingers through the soil. It was cool and fine, like ash. But no seeds sprouted within it and no stubborn weed clung to life. The stories were true. Something held this place sterile. I set up camp a short distance away, just beyond the tree line, where the ground was soft with pine needles. I had decided long before arriving that I would sleep there that night in sight of the circle, to see if the legends of the devil's nightly pacing held any truth. The hours passed slowly, and twilight settled in, painting the woods in long shadows. Thank you, Gart, for the first gift ever. I cooked a small meal on my camp stove, and the smell of it, oddly, was intrusive in such a barren place. As the last light faded, I felt a buzz in the air. By the time full dark arrived, the drizzle had grown into a steady rain. I pulled my tarp tight, listening to the patter overhead, and I let my eyes rest on the circle just beyond the fire's glow. And that's when the stories came back to me that I had heard. The local Chatham County people had long whispered that the circle was cursed. Some said a great battle had been fought there centuries ago, and the blood of warriors soaked the soil until nothing would grow. Others said it was a place where witches gathered. The Abenaki had their own stories of fire spirits, beings who came from the stars, leaving behind burned patches of earth. But the most common story was the one that earned it its name, and that was that the devil himself came here at night. That he walked the circle endlessly, trampling away any green shoot that dared emerge, plotting humanity's next downfall. And I believed places with power, places where something happened so intense or so strange that it could warp the energy of the land itself. And as midnight drew near, I began to wonder if I had underestimated the site. Exactly, funny florist, no birds sing, no bugs, yep. The rain stopped abruptly like a switch had been thrown, and the forest went deathly still. I leaned forward, every nerve on alert. And then I heard it. Footsteps. Slow and deliberate and steady. They were in the circle. The sound was unmistakable. The dull press of a heel into bare soil, and then a lift, and then another step, and then another. Yes, I know. Lucifer, I'm from North Carolina. That's why in the beginning I said I grew up to this story. All of my stories are based off real folklore. I froze, my breath shallow. My fire had burned low, casting only the weakest light. But the circle was still visible as a darker void against the night. Thank you, sunshine. Thank you, Lee. I saw nothing. Yet the footsteps continued, pacing steadily around the circle. My heart hammered. I wanted to speak. I wanted to say something, but whatever was out there was not mine to address. The steps went on for what felt like hours. I know, it's really cute, Millie. I agree. It's really sweet. At times, they quickened into a restless trot. Other times, they slowed until I thought they had finally stopped, only for the sound to resume again. When the last step landed, silence followed. I don't know what I expected. A flash of lightning, a form to reveal itself, but the air in the circle just collapsed. That's the only way I can really describe it. One moment, it was just night air, damp and thin. The next, it was as though the oxygen had been sucked out, leaving behind a hollow pressure that pressed against everything. And then I saw a glow. It started as the faintest shimmer, no brighter than heat rising from asphalt. And then it thickened, coiling upward from the soil. It twisted into a column and it stretched higher than the treetops. And within it, I thought I saw shapes. Thank you, Daza. I stumbled back, my boots sank into the mud. I was in a trance, pinned by that glow, as though it was peeling something away from an invisible layer. Then I heard a low rumbling, like stone splitting under pressure. And then I realized the circle wasn't barren because of the devil or because of a curse. It was barren because this thing, whatever it was, required it, needed this space clear and lifeless to open up, to cross into our world. The glow remained for a few moments more and then flickered and collapsed, leaving only darkness and silence. The footsteps never returned. I didn't sleep that night. At the first sign of dawn, I tore down camp and I fled. My boots never once crossing the boundary of that circle. People like to tell stories about the devil's tramping ground because the name is easy, because it makes for a neat warning. But whatever walks that circle isn't the devil. It's something much older. And that's the tale of the devil's tramping ground. Thank you for the corn, Zoot Suit. Thanks, Brooke. Thanks, Funny Florist. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Devin, and this is Porch Lore. And I tell spooky bedtime stories to help you relax your nervous system and fall asleep. Thank you so much, Mace. Daza, it's called fun, okay? Look it up. I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Aw, Brooke, that's okay. I love Robitussin when I'm sick, and I hope you feel better. Thank you, Diana. Cindy, thank you for your first gift ever. Also, thank you. Let me go back. We got several. Kiara and Lee, thank you guys for your first gifts. I really appreciate it. And Catherine, thanks, guys. Counting clovers. I know, Jennifer, it's cute. And it's like so random because it's not even like it's like, I wonder what the clovers are for. It's very cute. It's very cute. Thank you, Millie. Thank you, guys. Thanks for all the clovers. Hi, Tommy. I'm so sorry, Elle. I also had a death this week. I'm so sorry. Sending you love. All right, you guys. I'll be right back with the next poll. Grab a beanbag chair. Grab a hammock. I'm so glad, Tanya. Sit back and relax. Check out the shooting stars. And welcome to the porch. And if you guys could do me a favor while I'm setting up the next poll, could you hit that share arrow in the bottom right hand corner? There is a little yellow circle with 2 arrows chasing each other that says repost. And that puts my live into your friends' FYPs. Thank you, Gran4, for the first gift ever. Reposting puts it in your friends' FYPs. Also, sharing to your stories helps too. And sharing with your friends. And thank you to everybody tapping the screen. We're almost to 100K. I appreciate you. Good night, Chedsy. Love you. Sweet dreams. And I'll be right back with the next poll. Be right back. And no, Tommy, we're not muted. Do you not have any audio? Can someone tell Tommy we're not muted? Brooke, we're not ignoring you. What did you say? I'm not muted, right, you guys? Skrilla, that's not helping. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you for the helpful comments. Thanks. Thank you, Barry. Thank you, Scotty. All right, you guys, the next poll is ready. Yes, Barry. Perfect. We have Paint Blue, The Trapdoor, Ash Grove, The Curious Camera, and The Wrong Turn. Who's it gonna be? You can vote in the top left-hand corner. There's a blue box, and you can vote up to 50 times, and you can vote for more than one story. Hi, Franny. Oh my god, that's the best comment. What's up, Portuguese? I love that so much. Hi, Franny. Welcome back. Nikki, my next story is when people are done voting. They're literally in the middle of voting for the next story. Maybe read the room. That's a good one, Country Kid. I like that. Hi, Metro. Metro Boomin on some. Hi, Miriam. Hi, Mary. How are you, Mary? Thank you for the adorable otters, cats, and coffee, and Miriam. Thank you. Welcome in, guys. All right, the winner is Ash Grove. I'll be right back with that one. Grab a beanbag chair. You're good, Mary? I'm glad. Thanks for coming in. Grab a beanbag chair. JK. God, I miss you saying that so much. I love you. You're so cute. Grab a beanbag chair, grab a hammock, sit back and relax. And welcome to the porch. I missed you too, Mary. Check out the shooting stars, and I'll be right back with Ash Grove. Dazza, you're so cute. Dazza, I loved your runway today. Dazza modeled the Porch Pal Society shirt, y'all. He repped the Porch Pal Society in his live today and had the shirt on. It arrived in the mail, and he strutted like a catwalk and showed everybody the Porch Pals. He was repping the Porch Pals today. It was so sweet. And then you know what he did? He ended his live by playing the My Snallygaster story. Like after like Vincent Price or something. I felt so cool and special. I was like, oh my God, Dazza. So yeah, and we're going to raid him tonight. We're going to have a porch raid. So make sure you follow Scream Queen, because we are going over there after my live. I know. Isn't that the sweetest thing, Mackenzie? It was such a sweet surprise. I couldn't believe it. It was so cute. I just really appreciate it, Dazza. It's just really sweet. Oh, it was after Cary Grant. Oh my God, that's even better. Natalie, that's even better. I love Cary Grant. Yeah, it was, wasn't it, Kim? Yeah. I felt so special. All right, guys. Be right back with Ash Grove. Ethan, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the porch. And after this story, the new story will follow. So you got about 12 more minutes before the new story. Be right back. Really, Kim? That's so cute. Country kid, that's a good thing. Foxes are incredibly sweet and curious. And guess what? Fun fact, give it a goog. They are domesticating themselves. We are in the middle of watching like how dogs happened. Okay? I'm not kidding. Foxes are domesticating themselves. Their snouts are actually shortening, which humans find cuter. And animals, when they transition from wild to domestication, they see an evolution in their snouts getting shorter and stout, like chunkier and cuter. And foxes have seen actually documented evolution of their snouts, and they are not only doing that, but their behavior is indication of domesticating themselves, which dogs did as well. So the fact that the fox followed you, yes, I've heard of the fennec fox and they're so cute. Oh my God. All foxes are cute, but if the fox followed you, he probably wants to be a baby. He wants to be a little baby. Squirrel. Yeah. Me too. I love how foxes laugh with each other. If you have never seen it before, y'all, 2 things I want you to give a goog. Check out foxes on a trampoline. It's literally, I watch it it's like my endorphin. Like when I need to like get happy, I go watch foxes on trampolines. Also, check out foxes laughing with each other. It's the cutest shit I've ever seen in my life. Foxes are one of the cutest animals in the world. They're so smart, and they're like a mix of cat and dog together. They're like the best animal, and they have a foofy tail. They're so cute. And that's why I don't talk about Fox and the Hound, because they're one of my favorite animals, and I fucking hate that movie. We're not talking about it. Anyway, Brooke. I know, it's so cute when they laugh together, right, Katie? They're like, yeah, raccoons have been trying for a while, I think. JK said, not me, Skrilla, I'm feral. I said hi, I made a noise and then ran away. You made a noise and ran away, or it made a noise and ran away? It was probably saying hi back. I wouldn't be surprised. I know, Nikki. It's actually a topic that is one of the only outlawed topics in my life. No one's allowed to talk about it, or they'll get muted. So, because I can't handle it. I can't even think about it. I know I brought it up. No, Nikki, I brought it up. That's what I was saying. I know I brought it up. Not your problem, my problem. But it is literally, it makes my heart break. It makes my heart break. No. Not you, country kid. I love foxes. I'm the one that brought up Fox and the Hound. I'm just saying, it breaks my heart. Yes, that and tacos, James. Yep, that and tacos. And donuts. It's so cool, country kid. I'm so glad you told me. I love foxes so much, and I wish one would come talk to me. I wish one would come be my friend. I don't get foxes around where I live, though. I get deer. I get deer literally 5 feet away from me in my yard in the middle of the night. They just look at me, and they like don't even give a shit that I'm there. I'm like, hey. Oh, I need to post that video of Merlin, because Merlin was with me the other night, and he was like, oh my god, it's a deer. Oh, you get coyotes? Cool. Yeah, can I pet that dog? Hey, Henry. No. Fuck off. Oh, Franny just sent a super fan box. You got him, Justin. Thank you. So did I. You got a fawn in the yard next to you. Nice. I have a huge doe, and she's not scared of me at all. And she's way bigger than me. Like, she's tall. I know, foxes are so cute, aren't they? Yeah, there's a treasure box, guys. I'll be right back with Ash Grove. And I usually say Coyote Ridge, but they wrote it out like coyote. So I read it like that. But I actually say coyote. But tomato, you know? Skrilla. Skrilla, you're cute. I'm not gonna lie, I don't put this story on the Pulse very much, because it's sad. Hi, Holly. Hi, Drew. Oh, that's sad, Trim. I'm sorry. Matt, hi. Thanks for coming to the premiere. Can somebody get Lovely in here? She needs to be here for the new story for a reason. I don't think so. Congrats, Jessica. Hi, Lacey. Okay, Barry. We'll see you over here. Jackson, that's funny. Yeah, aesthetic. I think they can change it. I think they can make it changed. Thank you to everybody tapping, and if you could share it out and repost it, I would really appreciate it. Skrilla. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of Ash Grove. Thank you so much, Tanya. We're so glad you joined us. Also, I just want to preface this story with, this is a true story, and this is based off of my friend Jesse, his actual reincarnation story. So this is not new. This is old. I just don't read it that often. So just so you guys know, this is a true story. And this is my friend Jesse's reincarnation story. Really lovely? That's weird. How weird. The year was 1834. Somewhere deep in the warm southern heart of America. where the air clung heavy with honeysuckle and pine, and the soil, red as rust, seemed to bleed history. My grandmother used to say that some places hold memory like a fever, and that the land remembers what we forget. Hi, Trisha. I didn't understand what she meant until I learned the story of Jessica Albright and the fire that took everything from her. She wasn't famous. Her name wasn't etched into a gravestone that tourists visit. And her story wasn't told in church parlors or history books. But in the quiet corners of that countryside, where the wind whispers through the creeks, the locals still speak her name under their breath. Lovely. And yes, Holly, it's Monday. Jessica was born the summer of 1834, a time when the days were slow and every season carved its own rhythm into a family's life. Her parents were kind, good-hearted people, firm but affectionate, and they believed in hard work and raising their daughter to be both clever and cautious. Jessica was their only child, and their pride was evident in the way her mother's hands lingered when braiding her hair, or her father's laugh carried across the fields when she came running home with an apron full of berries. She loved the land. She loved its smell after rain and the way wildflowers fought their way through the fence posts. She'd spend her mornings tending to the animals and her afternoons sketching beside the creek, and her evenings writing in a small leather journal her father had given her. Jessica grew into a beautiful young woman, bright, curious, but with a cautious heart. She often rode her horse to the creek a mile from their farm, a place where the water ran smooth and shallow, where dragonflies hovered over stones like bits of glass. It was there one afternoon that she met a stranger. He appeared, and she was intrigued by him yet weary. He was older than her, and his name was Joseph. For a while, she convinced herself that their encounters were harmless. Simple rides through the countryside, polite conversation, the occasional picnic in the tall grass. But something about Joseph felt like he lived behind a mask that he had forgotten to take off. And then one spring morning, Joseph's brother arrived from England. His name was Stephen, and that's where everything changed. Where Joseph was cold and measured, Stephen was warmth itself. He had kind eyes, brown and gentle, and his laughter came easily, echoing across the fields. And the connection between him and Jessica was immediate, like someone recognizing someone you've been missing your entire life. They began to see each other in secret, sharing stolen afternoons and letters hidden under stones near the creek. And it wasn't long before Stephen confessed his love for her. And one moonlit evening, he asked her to be his wife. And Jessica said yes with all the passion of youth. And together they decided to face the consequences openly. When Joseph learned of their love, his heart hardened. He felt betrayed and humiliated. And even though he said little, he distanced himself from them completely. Those who knew him claimed he left the family farm soon after, traveling north, leaving his brother and the woman he once loved behind. Jessica and Stefan married in the small chapel by the river. The day was bright and warm. And as a wedding gift, Stefan's parents deeded them a small patch of land with a modest farmhouse and a weathered barn. And they built their life there from the ground up. Over time, their happiness deepened. Stefan took work in town at the general store, a place where everyone gathered for conversation and news. The owner, an old man with failing eyesight, grew so fond of Stefan's diligence that upon retiring, he gifted the store to him outright. It was a gesture that changed their lives completely. By then, Jessica had given birth to identical twin boys. And they were only 6 months old when Stefan took ownership of the store. And the town, proud of their young couple, threw a grand barn dance in celebration. It was a golden night, the kind that glows in memory forever. Lanterns hung from rafters like low stars. The air was thick, with the smell of wood smoke and pie. Music drifted through the countryside as the people danced and laughed. Jessica wore a pale blue dress, and Stefan couldn't take his eyes off of her. When the party ended, they rode home under a blanket of stars, the twins asleep at home under the watch of Jessica's aunt. The air smelled of earth and mesquite, and the only sound was a rhythmic creak of the buckboard wheels. But as they neared the top of the hill overlooking their land, Stefan's horse began to shudder and toss its head, and then Jessica smelled smoke before she saw it. A sharp scent that clawed at her throat, and when they reached the crest, their world collapsed. The farmhouse was engulfed in flames. The night sky pulsed orange and red, the heat so intense that the air wavered like water. Jessica's scream broke something inside of her, and she leapt from the wagon before Stefan could stop her, running toward the inferno with nothing but terror in her heart. The door was burning hot to her touch, but she forced it open. The smoke was black and suffocating, and the crackling of timber sounded like bones breaking. She could hear the wail of the wind through the rafters, and faintly beneath it, the small cries of her babies. And Jessica ran for the staircase. But the wood above her split with a deafening creak. The ceiling buckled, and before she could take another breath, the upper floor collapsed, burying her in fire and ash. When neighbors reached the scene, they found only rubble. The structure had burned to the foundation. It took 3 days for anyone to find what was left of Jessica and her 2 sons. And Stefan was never seen again. Some say he wandered into the desert maddened by grief. Others think he threw himself off the bridge into the river. And you might think that that was where her story ended. But it wasn't. More than a century later, in 1948, a baby boy was born in a small New England town nearly 1,000 miles away. His family had never heard of Jessica Albright or the tragedy in that southern valley. Yet, from the time that boy could speak, he described dreams that made his parents worry. Every night he saw the same vision, A house on fire, flames consuming the walls, the sound of wood snapping in heat, and the feeling of trying to run but always being too late. He said he could smell smoke and taste ash. And as he grew older, the dreams became more vivid, and he described running in a blue dress, barefoot through the dirt, his dress catching sparks as he tried to reach 2 crying babies upstairs. He would wake crying, and his parents were worried. At first, the doctor said it was trauma, though none could say from what. And then psychologists said it was just his imagination. But then, when he was 10 years old, the family took a trip south to visit relatives near Alabama. One morning, the boy insisted on taking a walk, and his parents followed, worried, as he wandered off the path into the fields. Their son walked with a strange certainty, as if he was following something unseen, and then he led them to a hill overlooking a stretch of open land. And there, among the weeds, half buried in stone, were the remnants of an old foundation. It was the Albright homestead, and no one had lived there for over a century. The boy stood in the ruins and began to cry. And he said that he remembered everything: the blue dress, the barn dance, the twins, the fire. His parents were in shock, and that night the family left town. And the boy never spoke of that dream again. But from that day forward, he refused to go near an open flame. Some say reincarnation is nonsense. Others say the land keeps what it owns, and that souls sometimes stay tethered to the soil. If that's true, then perhaps Jessica finally found peace the day that little boy came home to the ashes of her life. And that's the tale of Ash Grove. And yes, aesthetic, I remember reincarnation lives as well. And yep, people think we're always the same gender, and that's not true at all. And this is a perfect example, because my friend Jesse, this is his reincarnation story, and he in fact changed his name to Jesse to honor Jessica. I'm not kidding. That was not his born name, and he changed it to Jesse to honor Jessica, because he is one of the few adults like myself who remember our past lives, and he felt like part of her was still there, and he wanted to honor that. Yeah, so it's a very sad story though, and every time he hears it, he still cries. But he had asked me to tell his story. Thanks, Matt. He had asked me to tell his story, and I said I would. And so if you see him, he sometimes comes in here, and it's called, his screen name is Jesse Time Walker. But yeah, aesthetic, yeah, that would have been so cool. Most parents don't think to write it. Most parents just think it's imagination. And if you go back, most parents, their kids have had the memories, but then they go away. That's funny, Matt. It was just a normal, it was the 1800s. They used lanterns. So the fire, nobody knows who said it. That wasn't the focus of the story. That was just how she died. It was the 1800s. People didn't even have to set fires. People literally fell asleep with candles all over their house every night. Yes, James, it does. Yeah, I have no idea who started the fire. I think it was just candles. Thank you, Dr. O. I appreciate that so much. All right, guys, it's time for the new story. Yeah, but Cody, what's different is yours are in like glass jars. They were like handmade animal fat candlesticks that were like misshapen and not symmetrical and would literally fall off the little wooden stick things they stuck them in. Yeah. No, this was before kerosene, Cody. This was literally animal fat candles. It's time. Yeah, lovely. Ew, God, don't even do that. Ew, gross. Don't do that. Ugh. Ugh. That just made me want to cry and like run away to somewhere tropical and never come back. Yeah, exactly, Claudia. House fires were so common back then. Like, it probably wasn't set by anybody. People's houses burned down all the time. Like, they literally used to put candles on Christmas trees and before they had electricity. Dead, dry-ass Christmas trees covered in flames. What could go wrong? All right, guys, time for the new story, and I have something exciting. Hold on. Guess I was just going to say, Rochelle, unless you were a royal like myself and our candles were beeswax, they weren't animal fat, but you know. Get ready, lovely. Okay, 1 second, you guys. Just because I'm doing something I've never done before tonight, there is just a little hiccup that I didn't anticipate on the YT side. So just give me 1 quick second and I'll fix it. There you go, lovely. I did it just for you. She was in the premiere, like, I can't believe the people on TikTok aren't going to get to see this background. It's so good. And so I cannot do this for all the stories. So this is just a treat because I really like and proud of this background. But yep, guys, you get to see what the people on YT see for my videos. Like during the premiere, my stories move. You guys just don't ever get to see that on TikTok. But This one's really cool, and the ghosts in the mirrors all move. And so, hi Yanni, hi Christina, hi cutie. So guys, for the first time ever, this is a moving background for the story, so you guys can see what you're missing if you don't watch on YT, because the backgrounds all move on YT. Not on the live, but on the recordings. Thanks, Brooke. So guys, this is what you get to see if you fall asleep to my bedtime stories playlists on YT. All this cool stuff like this. And she moves, and it's very creepy. And this was very hard to make happen. It was like, so this is not going to be a regular thing, but for this story, yeah. Matt. Hi, Maria. How you doing, cutie? Thank you. Thank you for the cute gifts. Thanks, Christina. I love you. Quick swig and I'll be right back with the new story. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the recondite reflection. And yep, I'm teaching y'all a new word too. Christina, I love you. And this is chopped off. Unfortunately, the cool purple drapes that blow in the wind didn't make it into the TikTok frame, so you are missing half the picture. Ladies and gentlemen, Christina, one of my best friends since high school. She's the one that's getting married next month. Thank you, Snooty. How you doing, cutie? For as long as humans have been able to see their own reflection, mirrors have carried a strange power over our imagination. A mirror is nothing more than polished glass reflecting light. Yet across centuries and across cultures, people have looked into mirrors and wondered the same unsettling question. What exactly is looking back at us? Long before mirrors became household objects, people believed that reflections were not simply reflections. They were connected to something deeper. The soul, the spirit, and even the boundary between the living world and the world beyond. And that belief created some of the most fascinating supernatural traditions, warnings, and rituals in folklore. Good night, Zoot Suit. Because throughout history, mirrors were never just decorations. They were portals. The fear surrounding mirrors began long before modern glass mirrors existed. Ancient civilizations understood that a reflection was a mysterious copy of a person. It moved when you moved. It stared when you stared. It perfectly imitated you, yet it was not you. Thank you, Lovely, for explaining. It's so stupid. To many ancient cultures, that was deeply unsettling. Justin. The reflection was believed to be a physical representation of a person's spirit or life force. The ancient Greeks and Romans had beliefs connected to the soul being reflected through water and polished surfaces. Some philosophers even debated whether a reflection contained a piece of the person being reflected. In many traditional societies, the reflection was considered a fragile connection between the physical body and the spiritual self. And if something happened to that reflection, people feared something could happen to the person too. One of the most famous mirror superstitions is the belief that breaking a mirror brings 7 years of bad luck. Today, many people repeat this saying without knowing where it came from. The belief developed from a combination of ancient ideas about reflections, Roman traditions, and later European folklore. The Romans believed that life happened in cycles of 7 years. And they also believed that a damaged reflection could represent damage to a person's health, fortune, or spirit. So breaking a mirror was not simply breaking an object. It was believed to fracture the connection between yourself and your soul. Some traditions believed the curse could only be lifted through rituals, such as burying the broken pieces under moonlight, throwing them into running water, or grinding the fragments into dust so the reflection could never be captured again. The idea was simple. If the mirror could no longer hold your reflection, the damage could no longer reach you. One of the oldest and most widespread mirror traditions involves death. For centuries, many families across Europe, the Middle East, and parts of America would cover mirrors inside a home after someone died. This practice was especially common during the Victorian era, when mourning traditions became elaborate and deeply symbolic. One belief was that the recently deceased person's spirit might become trapped inside a mirror. Since mirrors were thought to be gateways between worlds, people feared that a wandering soul could look into a mirror and become unable to leave. Another belief was that the living could accidentally see the ghost of the deceased reflected in the glass. The mirror became a dangerous object, a doorway that needed to be closed until the spirit had safely moved on. And there were also practical reasons behind the tradition. In candlelit homes, mirrors created unusual reflections and shadows. And during a time of grief, a grieving family member catching a glimpse of movement in a mirror could easily interpret it as something supernatural. But folklore rarely separates fear from reality. The belief remained because the possibility was frightening. But perhaps some of the most fascinating mirror folklore comes from old divination rituals. For centuries, people believed mirrors could reveal hidden truths. One popular tradition involved standing before a mirror at midnight, often by candlelight, and looking into the reflection while reciting specific words or performing a ritual. The belief was that the answer to the question asked might appear in the mirror, kind of like a crystal ball. But folklore also carried a warning. You might not always see what you hope to see. Many legends told of people seeing strange figures, shadowy faces, or even their own future death reflected back at them. The mirror became a source of answers and a doorway to things humans were not meant to know. One of the most unsettling ideas connected to mirrors is the belief that a reflection may not always simply be a reflection. Many cultures have stories about mirror doubles, supernatural versions of ourselves that exist somewhere behind the glass. Some folklore describes these beings as doppelgangers, mysterious doubles that, according to some beliefs, appear before tragedy or death. And the idea was terrifying because the mirror is the perfect place for such a creature to hide. After all, a person looking into a mirror expects to see themselves. But what if one day they didn't? What if the reflection moved slightly different? What if it smiled when you weren't smiling? What if it looked back at you with an expression you've never made? These stories become popular because mirrors create a strange psychological experience. We recognize ourselves, but our brains also recognize that we are looking at an imitation, a copy, something familiar but separate. And even in our modern world, many mirror traditions have survived. People still cover mirrors during funerals. People still avoid looking into mirrors at night. And many people refuse to hang mirrors directly across from each other for fear of creating a portal. Others refuse to place mirrors directly facing their beds because of the belief that spirits may pass through them while they're asleep. In paranormal communities, mirrors still remain one of the most common objects associated with supernatural experiences. Investigators often report stories of unexplained reflections, figures appearing in mirrors, or people seeing movement behind them when no one is there. Christina, I love you. Of course, science could also explain many of these experiences. Low lighting, the way our brains process faces and patterns, can create powerful illusions. The human brain is designed to find familiar shapes, especially faces. And mirrors are one of the most powerful tools for creating those illusions. But folklore has always existed in the space between explanation and mystery. Because even when we understand the science, the feeling still remains. Think about it. What an old mirror has seen. Families preparing for weddings. A woman fixing her makeup after crying. People saying goodbye before leaving home. Children growing older. Teenagers getting ready for first dates. Skrilla. Skrilla. A mirror is a silent observer. It remembers faces that no longer exist. And perhaps that is why mirrors have always fascinated us. Because unlike almost any other object, a mirror holds a connection between the past and the present. For thousands of years, humanity has looked into reflective surfaces and wondered if there is something more on the other side. Are they windows? Are they portals? Sherry. Are they simply pieces of glass that reveal ourselves? Or is there something about seeing our own reflection, a perfect copy, that moves with us but exists somewhere separate, that awakens an ancient fear buried deep inside us? And that's the tale. We're probably going to end up calling it Behind the Glass or The Mirrors, but it's the recondite reflection. Thought I'd use a new word for you guys. A nerdy word. That's the new story of the week. Hope you guys like it, and I hope you guys like the video background. Lovely. I already texted it to you. The recondite reflection is what it's called. We're using official titles. Thank you guys. Also, don't forget we will be raiding Daza after the live's over. Thank you so much, Michelle, for the manifesting crystal ball. Daza, are you going to go on after this story? Are you going on in 10 minutes, or what's the plan, Stan? Thank you, Jade. I appreciate you. Thank you, lovely. Nikki, that's what Skrilla said too. He's like, when I see myself in the mirror, I'm like, who the hell is that? Oh, good, Rachel. I'm glad. You will go live at the beginning of summer. Okay, cool, Daza. You're so cute, Daza. Thank you, Wonky Titters, for the galaxy and Matt making it rain. Thank you so much. All right, you guys, it's grilled cheese time. Good night, Lily. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for following and joining us on the porch. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. Sweet dreams. Make it rain. Me too, Rachel, and I'm tired. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Holly. Those are so cute. I love that little otter. Thank you, Holly. Love ya. See you tomorrow. Yes, Natalie. Perfect. Thank you, Royal the Boxer. Oh my God, that sounds so good, Bisbee. Yum. Good night, Mackenzie. Love ya. See you in the raid. Submitted for the approval of the Porch Pal Society. This is the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. Okay, good night, Millie. Love ya. Good night, Jade. Love ya. Good night, Millie. I'm not usually the kind of person who pulls over on back roads at night. Not unless I absolutely have to. But that night, something about the storm, the long drive, and that growling pit in my stomach convinced me otherwise. I was hungry. You guys are so funny. It was late October, and I was headed back to campus after a weekend visit with my friends in North Carolina. Hi, Spooky Bestie. I had a midterm on Monday, and my plan had been to drive straight through. 5 hours, no stops. But then came the rain. One of those cold, slanted, whispery rains that creeps into your bones and makes the windshield wipers sound like a heartbeat. I had taken the wrong exit, trying to bypass traffic, and I ended up on a 2-lane back road, surrounded by nothing but pine trees and power lines. And that's when I saw the neon sign. SYCAMRE Diner. The O in Sycamore was flickering like it hadn't worked right in years, but the rest was lit up in a cherry red neon. A tiny beacon in the middle of nowhere. I figured I'd grab a quick bite, maybe some coffee, check my map, and get back on the highway. But I should have just kept driving. I should have known something was off the second I stepped inside. The bell over the door jingled, but not like a normal bell. It made this sharp metallic ping that echoed longer than it should have. The air inside was warm, almost too warm. And it smelled like grilled onions and pancake syrup. The place looked like it had been yanked straight from 1957. A checkerboard floor, red vinyl booths, a long counter with spinning stools, even a jukebox in the corner that looked like it hadn't worked in decades. And the people? They all stopped and looked at me the second I walked in. Not in a rude way, just quiet. Like they weren't expecting me. like I had walked into the middle of a sentence that no one wanted to finish. A waitress, tall, with a beehive hairdo and a light blue uniform, smiled and waved me over. "You get caught in the rain, sweetheart," she said, handing me a laminated menu. I nodded, still trying to shake off that weird feeling. Yeah, the highway's a mess. She chuckled and patted my shoulder. "Well, you're safe here. Sycamore's always open for travelers." I sat down at a corner booth and the vinyl creaked. And I remember the jukebox shifted songs by itself and started playing some slow doo-wop ballad that I didn't recognize. I looked around and everyone looked normal, sort of. There was a trucker with a thick gray beard, drinking coffee by the counter. A young couple whispering to each other in a booth by the jukebox. And an older woman stirring tea like she was lost in thought. But they all had the same look in their eyes. Like they were there, but also somewhere else. Like they were watching me out of the corner of their eyes even when they were looking down. The waitress came back with coffee, strong, hot, and surprisingly good. And I ordered a grilled cheese with fries. Simple, safe. She wrote it down with one of those clicky pens and said, "Don't worry, it's on the house tonight." And that was my second red flag. No diner just gives food away. While I waited, I took out my phone to check the map. No signal, and I mean nothing. No bars, no Wi-Fi, not even GPS. Just a blank screen with a spinning wheel. I glanced out the foggy window and the storm was still going, but now the wind had picked up. I could see the power lines swaying like jump ropes in the dark. But the diner stayed perfectly lit. Not even a flicker. The food came fast. Too fast, like under 5 minutes. But it looked amazing. Golden bread, gooey cheese, crispy fries with a little metal cup of ketchup on the side. I took a bite. Delicious. I mean, I've eaten at a lot of diners, greasy spoons, college joints, and roadside shacks, but this was hands down the best grilled cheese I've ever had. The fries were perfect, and the coffee never ran out. Every time I took a sip, it was somehow full again. I was halfway through the sandwich when the trucker got up to leave. He walked right past my table, nodded once, and whispered, "Don't stay past midnight." That's all he said. What? But he was already out the door. The waitress gave me a tight smile and walked over, collecting his empty mug. Old Earl, he's always saying weird stuff. Just ignore him. But I couldn't. Something about his voice stuck with me. Something about the way he looked at me. Not like I was a customer, but like I was in danger. I checked the clock over the register. 11:42. I figured I had just enough time to finish my fries, grab the check, and head out. I still had at least 3 hours left on the road. But when I stood up, the lights flickered. Just once, and then again. And then everything in the diner stopped moving. The couple by the jukebox froze mid-sentence. The woman with the tea stopped stirring, her spoon hanging in midair. The waitress, her hand reached out for a mug, just stopped. Like someone hit pause on the entire scene. I took a step back. The jukebox buzzed, glitched, and restarted a new track. I could still move, but no one else could. And then I heard it. Not music, not a storm, a voice. Not coming from anyone I could see. I backed toward the door, my heart hammering in my chest, and I turned the knob. Locked. Of course it was locked. I tried the windows, but they were sealed shut. I started banging on the glass and shouting, but no one was outside. Just wind and rain and that flickering red sign. SYCAMRE. I turned back toward the dining room, and everyone was gone. Not frozen anymore, just gone. The booths were empty, no plates, no crumbs, no mugs. No sign that anyone had ever even been there. Except for my plate. Still warm and still half-eaten. And then I saw the waitress. She was standing by the kitchen doors, her silhouette backlit by flickering fluorescent light. Her face was wrong. The same smile, but her eyes were empty, black and endless, like someone had painted over them. "You shouldn't be here, honey," she said in that same cheerful voice. "Not yet." I stumbled back over a chair as she took one slow step toward me. The others, they were waiting, but you just wandered in. She raised a hand and the walls began to shimmer. Literally shimmer. Like heat waves on asphalt. The checkered floor rippled and the red booths started to fade. Becoming outlines and then shadows and then nothing. And then I saw it. Underneath the illusion. It was charred wood, cracked tile, broken beams, and black soot. Like the diner had burned down long ago. I ran. I don't even remember how I got out. 1 second I was inside, and the next I was on the side of the road, soaked to the bone and gasping for air. My car was still there, pulled up with the ceiling missing, parked on gravel that didn't even look like a lot anymore. Just weeds and puddles. No neon sign, no glowing windows, just nothing. Thanks, Justin. I drove back to campus that night in silence. No 2 Chainz, no Porch Lore podcast. I kept glancing in the rear view mirror, half expecting to see that red neon flicker back to life. I didn't tell anyone, not for weeks. Not until I finally looked up Sycamore Diner on a local history site. And I found it. It burned to the ground in 1972. A gas leak. The whole place went up at midnight. And everyone inside was killed. 5 patrons, a waitress, and a cook. The photo in the article. The same checkerboard floor, the same red booths, the same neon sign. SYCAMORE. And in the corner of the photo, that same waitress, smiling. I never took that back road again. I don't even drive at night anymore if I can help it. And every time I see a neon diner sign, something in me flinches just a little. Because I know I was there. And I know I wasn't supposed to be. But the part that keeps me up sometimes, the part that really makes my stomach turn. That was the best damn grilled cheese I've ever had. And I didn't even pay for it. And that's the tale of the night shift at Sycamore Diner. And yes, I get told that I sound like Dakota Johnson a lot. Kelly, welcome in. All right, Porch Pals, thank you so much for spending your Monday with me. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys liked the new story. Yeah, welcome in, Kelly. How you doing? And yes, I hear Dakota Johnson all the time. All the time. And she's pretty cool, so I'm okay with that. We're both kind of sarcastic and bitchy, and monotony, so I feel like that kind of makes sense. Thank you, Teresa. Yes, now we are going to raid. We love you, Nate. We're going to go raid Daz's live. It's Scream Queen. I'll see you guys over there. And I will see you guys again tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you had fun, don't forget to follow me. So if you fall off the porch, you can find us again. Because I'm here every single night at 10 p.m. And if you can't fall asleep, all of my stories are on a playlist on my YT channel called Bedtime Stories. And you can hit shuffle or play all and you will just be snoozing. But I will see you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same place. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Love you guys. Good night, Yanni. Love you. And don't forget, stay spooky. Matt said goodnight to everyone except my reflection that I no longer trust. Good night, Puerto Rican shorty.